So, obviously, Saturday, July 4th at 11 a.m., we are here in Doubletree Plaza 1 for Vermin. I'm just going to start down at that end of the table. So, introduce yourselves. And say
Sure.
what you
Hi,
do.
my name is Tim Wick. I am the head writer for this show.
I am Derek Washington, more commonly known as Duck, and I am another writer for the show.
Slightly less important writer.
But important enough to be up here and not out there.
Not a writer in the audience.
He just happens to be at the convention.
Yeah.
I'm Eric Thompson. I write things.
Including the show.
Oh yeah, Vermin.
Yeah. I'm Gordon Scooter. I'm the numbskull who had the idea to do a show about puppets.
I'm Jennifer Macon. I am Gordon's wife, and which makes me co-producer, craft services, accounting, liability, and occasional right-hand puppeteer.
The most important person on the show.
Yeah. She's also the one that has the cattle prod.
Yeah. We have others in the room as well.
We have others in the room. Mr. Stone is down here in the front row. Mr. Stone will be our, I just call him my best brain. He's the extra adjunct brain who keeps things going right. Mr. Laszlo is over here, Dimishi. He's one of our puppeteers. Mr. Jeff and Mr. John, standing at the back wall, are two more puppeteers.
We'll bring them up later, and there will be puppets.
There will be puppets. There are puppets here, don't worry.
Oh,
you'll
you
see
were
some.
here for something more than Trace. That's a relief.
Sitting down here on the side is Mr. Chris Ballas, who will be standing in for Trace Ballou at this panel. He'll be holding the iPhone.
Chris, can you muss up your hair a little bit more?
No, Tim, I don't think that's possible.
Can you open up your can with that beard? Okay. Let's see. Who did I miss? Anybody else?
Kelvin's in the back there,
Kelvin at the back, one of our writers,
and David over there.
and David Walbridge, our writer over there.
No,
And-
David, everybody knows it's you.
The Steve Martin lookalike in the back is Dave. So, here we are talking about this new web series. If you haven't heard, it is all about rats that work in a testing lab as their day job. The original concept for the show was kind of a slice of life thing, but then I got in a room with some writers. And I told them what I wanted, and then they gave me something much better and completely different. So
It's still rats in a lab.
it's still rats in a lab. It is, but it was a lot of fun sitting down in a room full of creative people and just giving them a parameter and saying, go with that. And originally it kind of started as
I know sitting on the floor isn't much fun, but there's a whole ton of space over here if somebody wants to not sit against the wall. Just pointing it out.
Hey, it's SRO. Awesome. So my original thing was, I want to tell this kind of story with this rat character who's a little bit Archie Bunker, and he just wants things to go right, and then these guys came up with a much deeper, broader plot that will play out over 3 seasons if we can make it happen. The first few episodes go the kind of way you expect them to go, and then it takes a left turn and doesn't go back. So.
It's kind of like David Lynch with rat puppets.
Yeah. They're dwarves though.
Not yet.
Not yet.
But
Not yet.
Season 3.
And because we are all overachievers, please know that the first season of scripts are complete. There are 7 episodes. They're going to be web episodes. We're going to have our YouTube channel that's going to show these for those people who get in on some of the early Kickstarter-y sort of things. You will have early access to those episodes and the ability to download those and view them at your leisure. I'm just trying to think of where I was headed.
I
Tim
don't know.
talk something, because.
Okay, I'll talk something. This started as it often does in Gordon's head, but then I was over at I think it was like Free Comic Book Day 2 years ago, and Gordon had a table at Free Comic Book Day over at the Source, and I'm just walking through, and I'm like, hey, how you doing, Gordon? He's like, I have an idea. Here's my idea. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. Why are you telling me that? Well, I thought you might be interested in writing. And I was like, sweet, that's great. I'm super interested in writing this. Because writing for puppets has been one of my dreams ever since like 2 years ago when Gordon and I were talking.
Ever since you learned how to type.
So 2 years. So 2 years ago, when I learned how to type and talk to Gordon. So he was like, well, I was thinking you could be a head writer, and I have to be honest that I didn't really understand what a head writer does, because when I do
You
writing,
still don't.
I don't. When I do writing, I just sit down and I write. But I went out to a bunch of friends who were really funny people and said, let's all get into a room and let's write this show together. And it's a really fun experience to write a show with a group of people, because you have an idea. And what we would do is we sat, and there was one thing where we sat down and kind of talked about, well, what's going on? What's the deal in the lab? The basic idea is these are a bunch of rats in a lab. And so we decided that we needed to kind of have different rats that do different experiments. So, you've got the rat who always runs mazes, and you've got the rat who always is being fed genetically modified food, and you've got a rat that's always being forced to watch television like in A Clockwork Orange, but without the really creepy things on his eyes, because it's a show for the family. And what grew from that was, well, why are these rats doing these experiments? And the other thing that Gordon said is, well, I've got Trace Ballou, and Trace Ballou is going to play a scientist, because he has no experience doing that sort of thing. We thought it might help him stretch himself as an actor. And so we have this, human character and these rats, and we're trying to figure out, well, what's their relationship? And what happened was we came up with this arc that's at least 3 seasons long.
Yeah.
Of all this bizarre stuff that's happening behind the scenes. So you start with the concept of a rat who's running a maze, but then you have to ask, well, why do they have this rat constantly run mazes? What's the reason for that? And why is there this other rat who's just watching television? And it doesn't seem like anybody's actually trying to gather any data or do any research. So,
But the rats don't notice. They're just there to do a job.
yeah.
And so, Roz, our rat who runs the maze, she runs the maze every day, and because it's basically the same thing every day, she needs to find the cheese. Well, they keep moving the cheese. Somebody keeps moving the cheese, and so she's gotten a little paranoid. And now she wears a tinfoil hat because she doesn't want them to read her thoughts, so she can find the cheese. And won't
So
move it on her.
she's our paranoid conspiracy theory rat, and like conspiracy theorists in all popular media, she's right about everything.
Which episodes did you guys write? Which ones?
My episode is episode 5, Job Swap.
Okay.
And
Talk about that episode.
So with that episode, we have some of the rats we were telling you about. They're all sick of their current jobs. They want to do different things. So we have the genetic testing rat. We have the rat that eats constantly for work and pleasure. The one that runs the mazes. They all decide, you know what, I don't want to do what you're telling me to do anymore. We're going to do everyone else's jobs. And they try out different things, but they just can't get it right. And I love that episode because it's so random and just quick, swapping between everyone trying different things and it just failing horribly.
Yes. Puppets failing horribly is always funny. that is the baseline for every Muppet sketch ever. And yes, we will borrow from the Muppets when it's appropriate.
I worked on the season 1 finale, which
No
focuses-
spoilers.
Yeah, I'll try to not give any of the spoilers out, but one of the rats that it focuses on is this rat named Oscar de Toilette, who is a cosmetics testing rat, and is a very, very macho rat that walks around in all of his cosmetic products all of the time. So
Yes, I'm a pretty princess. You got a problem with that?
He's very comfortable in his own skin and in somebody else's makeup.
Well, Oscar is introduced to this new pheromone in an experiment, and it works exceptionally well, and all of the rats kind of fall in love with each other, which causes some difficulty for Ralph, who is the manager rat of all of these rats.
Yeah. We haven't talked about Ralph too much.
Yeah, somebody hit on Ralph.
Ralph is I associate with Ralph because I'm used to being on stage with funny people and being the straight guy, and that's what Ralph is. He's our straight man. He's our point of view character. He's been experimented on in strange ways and has suddenly become super intelligent to the point that he's not only smarter than all the other rats in the lab, he's smarter than everybody in the lab. He's smarter than the scientists. He's smarter, but he's not really comfortable with being smart because he's a rat. And no matter how smart he is, he's still a rat. But so what they've done, because they really don't know how to deal with a super smart rat, is they've done the only logical thing. They promoted him to middle management. And so now he's managing all these other rats that used to be his friends. And there's the dynamic of how do they deal with him as a manager, and also the dynamic that he's the only one that can see all the weird stuff that's going on in the lab. And the only one who really perceives it as weird, while the rest of them are just like, whatever. I'm just a rat, doing my rat thing. So that's, anyway, go on with
It's
your...
not my responsibility to understand what's going on. It's my responsibility to make it go on. And that's what the rats are doing.
I mean, there's not too much to say about that specific episode, I think. That
'Cause,
won't
yeah.
give away, like, big points of the story arc, but it's a fun episode, and lots of really ridiculous things happen, and there are ninjas and all kinds of great things.
There are ninjas, there's a Yeti, there's bagels.
There's a lot of bagels in this show.
Lot of bagels. By the way, if anybody knows a local bagel company that would be interested in sponsoring, we
I gotta
would
be honest,
very
it will
interested.
save us a lot of money.
Yeah.
Save us a lot of money.
So if you know of any bakeries that do bagels and would really want to have their name in the credits of a really weird show, this is the time.
I'm gonna step in here for a second and
Please.
kind of back up a little bit. So for those of you who know some of the people in this room, we did a show called Transylvania Television. Like for about 7 years. It got broadcast. A small portion of that, our Halloween episode, was Kickstarted. We were a beta project on Kickstarter, and it raised some of the funds to cover the 7 years that we produced. Now, as the accounting person, it didn't raise everything, and large portions of what was TV were just covered by Gordon and ourselves. Several $1,000s worth. Labor of love. So while we are going to do a Kickstarter for Vermin, people are like, why is your Kickstarter for so much money? And that's because we want to cover everything we can with Kickstarter this time around.
But the experience of doing Transylvania Television really gave us an excellent idea of what it's going to take money-wise to make something like this happen. So the amount of money that we're going for on Kickstarter is $30,000. Now, $30,000, when you divide it up, is, well, actually, that's going to cover our first 3 episodes. And we have stretch goals that will take us to the rest of the 7 episodes in season 1. But $30,000 is going to set us up, give us all of our assets and get us all set up and everything ready to go, and to do all those other episodes. That's why we can have stretch goals of $6,000. After that is another episode. $6,000 after that is an episode. we know exactly the numbers because we've done it before and then we paid for it. So this time around, and Transylvania Television was really was a labor of love for just about everybody involved because nobody got paid. And this time around, we're not paying everybody scale, but we have minuscule stipends for the people who are performing and writing and doing vital services for us. So that's a step forward to build this kind of production sort of company that we want to do. We have to start looking at the reality of paying people. And you're asking folks to take time out of their week or their weekends, and sometimes multiple weekends a month or what have you, just to get those shots in the can. And I'm very happy to say that everybody who worked on Transylvania Television offered to come back and just do it. I really appreciate that. That means to me that we made a fun thing to be part of.
And I can't overemphasize how much talent we appreciate them, and how much we appreciate them coming back, and how much we appreciate the new talent that
Yes.
is now associated with this project.
So to ask everybody to come back for free and ask new people to come in for free is a little unfair. You know, yeah, like I say, they would do it because it's fun, but we want to take a step forward. We don't want to keep sitting in the same place. We want to step forward and say, our projects, you know, you're not getting paid a lot of money, but you're going to get paid something. And that's a very important thing to be able to hold over someone's head when they're refusing to do their work.
I'm also an independent filmmaker, and I'm just to reinforce, $30,000 is still an incredibly modest amount of money to ask for something of this scale. Like, it's incredibly modest. Hollywood couldn't do something half as good or half as funny as this for 10 times the amount.
That covers.
And they've shown that time and time.
That covers craft service, which is a food table. Not feeding everybody, it's a food table. So maybe for a couple of days. That's what
A
the money that they're
typical
asking.
30-second commercial has a budget, way like 10 times that. You know, $300,000 for 2 minutes on a TV commercial is really not unheard of. So, and we're looking at producing, 70 minutes of material at least, depending on how long the episodes stretch.
I want to give an example. Somebody up here, my good friend Chris Ballas, we went to high school together. He worked on Batman and Robin. All right.
I'm sorry.
He worked.
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
He was in Star. He's in Star Trek. His work was in Star Trek.
He also did other good stuff.
Yeah, thanks for bringing up the crappy.
Well, no, I'm just pointing out.
He just got back from.
I'm just pointing out that what we're doing,
Dusk Till
I
Dawn
guarantee
TV
you, is
series.
better than Batman and Robin. That's all I'm saying.
I love you too.
What you did in the movie was fantastic. Whatever that was. As long as it wasn't the Batman.
No, he didn't do the bat nipples. You had a question.
Yeah, I have a question. Have you ever thought about getting donations from people that are at the con, or taking it into our auction for people to bid upon it?
That's kind of part of what we've got going on, but the Kickstarter is our main thing. If you are interested in donating and don't want to go through Kickstarter, we'll take that money.
Thank you.
There's no stopping us from taking that money. And we, the first time around, full disclosure, I did run a campaign to fund this earlier in April. And because I was taking it all upon myself and not being as well informed as I could have been.
And running on a Kickstarter model from 7 years ago when we did TV.
Yeah, the rules are changed now. Kickstarter is no longer new, so people aren't going there just out of curiosity to see what's up on Kickstarter because it's new. We're asking for significantly more money. And now, word of mouth is really not the thing. Keystrokes are the thing. So social media, getting out your press releases, going to conventions and doing things like this. and then making sure you have someone famous like Trace Ballou.
Who is somewhere in the Twin Cities.
Who is somewhere in the Twin Cities. It's different now. The rules are different now. And so about 4 days before our campaign ended, I got an email from Hal Bickle, who was one of the movers and shakers here. And she said, you know what? You're gonna fail. And I know it. If you wanna try and salvage this, here's a list of things that you should do right now. And so I immediately got on the internet and started doing all the things that she told me. At the last minute, we managed to, well, within a couple of hours on our last day, we took in $8,000 in pledges. And that's a lot of money. That's a big jump in money at the last minute. And thank you to like John and everybody who really got out on Twitter and, you know.
And anybody in the room who helped support the first try.
Yeah.
One person, thank you. Thank you. That's great, because that means the rest of you are totally fresh meat. That's awesome.
And you're all on the hook. So we came like $4,000 away from meeting our goal. If we had had another day, that momentum probably would have carried us through and we would have gotten the money that we wanted. But I'm owning the fact that I really, you know, I was a caveman and didn't understand the new rules. So this time around, if we got that close doing it wrong, we should be able to crush this baby this time. Crush it. You know, Hal has been at my side, you know, whispering in my ear saying, okay, you need to get this out now. You need to put these up. And Hal actually assembled for us a new event page for the convention, so people could see that and come.
And you did it. Woot.
And you did. Thank you for being here. This is awesome. I really didn't expect to fill a room.
Have you considered having the rats do a public radio style pledge drive?
That may happen.
If it fails again, yeah.
I'll put you on the radio in 2 weeks if you want.
Awesome.
Okay, you guys can come in and talk about it and stuff, okay, that'll work.
Absolutely.
And I know a guy who's sitting upstairs, he's on duty for the convention right now. He's waiting desperately for you to start this thing so he can kickstart.
We love him.
If you want, I'll just say if you want to hear more about, because you know, unfortunately Trace couldn't be here, but he was on my podcast, Geeks Without God, this week. So he talked a lot about MSC3K and also about this project.
We
so.
can get him here on the phone.
And we'll get him on the phone. Yeah, we'll call him.
Okay, Chris is calling Trace right now.
So I would say in the next half hour, we need to do at least 3 things. One of them is start the Kickstarter,
Yep.
so we can watch the video. We're going to get Trace here on the phone, and we're going to show off some puppets. So I want to make sure those things get
done.
We are, you know, I think we ought to point out from that social media perspective.
Chris is going to come up and pretend Trace for a second.
I'll get in a second. We can't start the video yet, so please, if you think this sounds cool, if you look on your badge ribbon that we gave you all, it's got some handy things like the hashtag that we're using for this Kickstarter.
If anybody doesn't have one yet, you can come up and grab one.
And also the website, www.verminshow.com. You can send people to that website instead of sending them to the Kickstarter, and there's a link from the website directly to the Kickstarter. So if you don't want to remember the Kickstarter website, that's fine. Just remember Vermin Show. Yes, sir.
Is there a way we can have a short mock panel with the characters?
I think we're going to do something like that.
Yes, we're going to overrun the time that they've allotted us. And we're going to keep going until they kick us out. That's the privilege of being a guest of honor. Awesome.
Yeah, they're not local. But they make serious
That's you're holding Charles.
I asked him, are you?
Okay, so real quick, we have Trace on the phone. Trace, can you hear us? So tell us why you're donating to this Kickstarter campaign.
Because I like rats.
And tell us why you've deigned to be involved with a bunch of rats.
I think it's a really cool project. I really love what you guys did with TV, and I think it's a really creative group of people. And I'm very lonely. Hey, Gordon.
Yeah.
Here's an idea. You're looking for incentives and stuff
Yes.
for your campaign.
Yes.
I will donate. I will take someone to lunch, but you have to price this out. You have to put it somewhere in your
Sure.
in your strategy. I will take someone to lunch, and you can price it. You price it out. That will determine where we go.
Okay.
And anywhere from someplace really, really, really cheap,
Like me making a sandwich.
yes, to slightly less cheap.
So Mickey D's.
Better than that. No.
Better than Mickey
You know,
D's. Ooh.
maybe we make it like as much as they donate. That's how good the lunch is.
That could be, well, Minnesota's a great place for restaurants, so there's plenty of venues.
Accounting is on it right now. I'm
Accounting
figuring it out in my
is-
head.
But Chris can attest to how much I love food, and so that would be my contribution, as well as my other contribution, which will be to wear pants.
There's a
Trace,
first
I don't
time
know.
for everything.
Trace, I don't know, this is Tim. If you've read the script, you're going to be wearing a lab coat pretty much the entire time, so you probably could go without pants and nobody would know.
And much like today, I will be phoning it in.
Well, that's good enough for me. All right, so, all right, well, let's see, where are we at? We are at 11:29. Oh, well, welcome the rats, folks. On your far left is Ralph the Rat. He's the hero of our show. Performed by John. In the middle, you got, that is Gene. He's the genetic splicing rat. Who is currently in deep urban camouflage houseplant mode. And on your far right is Stu, who is our food testing rat, which I thought was kind of funny because we gave him to Jeff, who's the skinniest guy. But Stu is Ralph's best buddy, and after work they tend to hang out at a bar called the Mousetrap.
At this point, I think this is the first time both Gene and Stu have been on Puppet Hand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
And
wow.
Gordon, I just want to say, I'm so happy to have a clean thumb loop.
You're welcome.
I'm happy to have a clean thumb.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think Gene is my favorite because in every episode he's spliced with something different.
Yes.
Also this?
Yeah.
Genius.
Oh my God, the children.
Well, this is the big snaps in the arm. I purposely put those in there because in some episodes he might have like gorilla arms.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's an episode where he has a crab claw.
Yeah.
There's also an episode where he's a pineapple. So that's my thought.
Gene's ultimate goal is to be a real pineapple. That's what he wants to be when he grows up. Stu will eat anything pretty much. And then don't worry, Gene, it'll grow back. Yeah, because we're actually crossing Gene with a lizard tail. Yeah. So that'll go back.
I'm being a social media liaison, right?
Okay. Yes, whatever you do, please take lots of pictures and put them on your Facebook.
With the hashtag.
With the hashtag Vermin Show.
I am tweeting the hell out of this panel. I'm not just.
I followed my contestant back.
Awesome. So,
At Pet Snake Reggie, tweeting the hell out of this panel.
so these are some of our guys. You know, don't hold back, guys. Just be entertaining. I do have to say, I am a puppet builder, and most of the puppets will be built by me. But Stu was somebody I wanted to have ready for this panel, and because of being a guest of honor, I had a lot of other stuff to do. So Stu was actually built by Sean Engelman. Sean Engelman, and he is an excellent puppet builder in the Twin Cities here. So I wanted to give a shout out to him and make sure that he got credit for his excellent. Now, not to really reveal any spoilers or anything, but there is a very special rat that appears in the show, and he kind of looks like this. You can probably guess why he's green and has 3 eyes, but we don't want to reveal too much.
Mary Kay.
His name is 3 Mile, yes.
Yeah, I think
It's an M&M pun, right?
Yeah. 3 Mile was born and raised in a laboratory. He is a lab rat specimen, but he believes that he's a street rat. So he does a rap number in one of our episodes. And then we put him on the postcard that we were using for advertising. And everybody just immediately went, "Oh, I like the green guy." So,
tell me the deal about the green guy. What's the deal?
What's the deal with the green guy? He does great pictures. Because everybody loved the green guy, Jennifer decided that one of the things we needed to give away at this panel were finger puppets of 3 Mile. Okay,
You're not gonna get it.
Here's what you need to do right now. Everybody who walked in the door grabbed a button out of a bag, yes? No? If you did not grab a button out of a bag, we need you to grab a button out of a bag right now. There's only 3 left? There's more. There's some more. Everybody grab a button. Chaos. Oh. It's dystopia.
By the way, in addition to possibly earning you a prize, these buttons glow in the dark.
Buttons glow.
And if the Kickstarter fails, Gordon had to spend his own money on those buttons.
It's not Gordon's money, it's my money, because I'm the accountant.
Well, that's right, Gordon's a freelancer, he works from home, he's like me, he doesn't
That
make
guy
any
just
money.
good.
So there is a joke, and I'll tell you this joke now. What's the difference between a large pizza and a puppeteer?
A large pizza can feed a family of 4.
A large pizza can actually feed a family of 4. Yeah, fortunately we're not a family of 4. We're only 2, so. All right.
Last one.
So,
Last button.
has everybody in the room got a button? Now look on the back of your button. Look on the back of your button. If you have a pair of green eyes on the back of your button, we have finger puppets of 3 Mile for you. So, all right, everybody, come up and get your finger puppet, and I'm going to do a quick training session for you. Is there one more with green eyes?
We got one with 1 eye.
Yeah, wait, there's more.
There's more, don't worry. All right, so all of you puppeteers who just got your puppets, you need to put your finger in the air.
This one.
Be nice. Right? Put the puppet on your finger like so. Right? Now, use your opposite hand to manipulate the arm rods just like a puppeteer. So you can comb your hair, right? You can rub your tummy, you can scratch your little hat butt, you can pick your nose, you can blow kisses.
All of these things happen in
Yes,
pilot
butt scratching and all that.
butt scratching, nose picking.
Where's my finger puppets?
These rats are just like people.
All right. What?
Why don't we post the video
Can we-
and then launch, and then we can.
Yes.
Don't you need, well, wait, let me see. Let me see. Isn't it on YouTube?
Yes, it is on YouTube. You can find it on YouTube.
So, while he's doing that, just as I have someone who's done Kickstarters and all, if everyone here backs right away, the metrics of Kickstarter, the pages that have lots of backers early are more visible on the Kickstarter front page. They show up in Google searches more. It is very critical to get as many backers. Even if you only donate $1, the backer count is what matters in the Kickstarter metrics.
Yes.
So if you back for even $1, it will help to show more than you donating more money. Donating more money is really good too.
Or you could all donate, $10.
That would work out.
So the metrics way Kickstarter.
And it will be going through August 8th, so if you aren't sure how much money you have to donate, going in and donating that $1 right now, you still have until August 8th to up your donation or change your donation.
And you don't pay till August 8th.
And you don't
Yeah.
pay unless we get it all. A lot of people ask about that because they keep telling us, you should have gone to Indiegogo and then you would have gotten 84% of your funding. And then it's like, where does the other $5,000 come from?
Yeah.
So that's why we're going with the all or nothing Kickstarter philosophy, because we know how much it's gonna cost and we just don't have extra money laying around to.
Yeah, the
cover that.
worst possible thing that could happen to us is to get $17,000 and then be on the hook for the rest. Because we don't have it. That's
The
why we're
other
doing
thing
Kickstarter.
with, the other thing with the Kickstarter is there's a couple of early bird levels, there's limited numbers, at a lower price, so there's an advantage to going on a Kickstarter, going fast, going soon, because you
Yes.
can get something at a lower price, although you appreciate the extra money in the long run too.
Yes.
I had a suggestion for trying to get some money, at least here. Maybe, and it probably make it so I couldn't get it myself, but maybe you'd want to auction off that lunch.
That's a possibility too, and I'll talk to Trace about it. That might be a separate thing that we do, but we'll offer that as I'll need to add that in later, but.
And I'm sure there's a bunch of people in the industry that are gonna be willing to do that as well, because I'll be donating a life cast. So having somebody come in.
This is new, we didn't know about this, I'm gonna add this to the list.
I forgot.
So the other thing, when you go back and check on the Kickstarter, because as wonderful people like Chris and Trace offer these things, we will add them to
Yeah.
the list, and you'll get the notifications when something new is gonna come up.
And
Good.
is
I
art
can't
shows
find
supposed
that
to do
on
that?
YouTube, guys.
Maybe
Oh.
not, I don't know. Because maybe the donations don't go to the art show, maybe you have to do it separately.
It might be, I think it's unlisted. I think it's unlisted on YouTube. But if you start the Kickstarter, then I should have to click over here and
Okay.
show them the video.
Well, here we are at 11:40 a.m. on Saturday, July 4th, and I have a green button here. So in honor of MST 3K and Trace Ballou, we have Kickstarter sign. There it goes. We're gonna launch. Okay, I pressed that button. Oh, it's asking me if I'm ready to launch. Launch project now. Hopefully this is the last button I push. There we go.
Are you sure you want to look?
Oh wait, please accept our rules. Yeah, I kind of did that, but okay, so where's, oh, I have read these important rules. Whatever, yeah, there we go. And it's concentrating really hard. Your project has launched. Drum roll, ... So, there it is.
And
It is.
it's available on the search engine now too, in Kickstarter.
Pow! Bingo! Bam! So Kickstarter.com/projects, /792-672-9696. Relaunch Vermin the web show. All you have to do is go to Kickstarter and type in search word Vermin, and it'll come up. You'll see our old one that didn't make it, but this one will say relaunch Vermin the web show.
I'll get it in a second.
It's taking a second.
Pick the
Do it
one that
now.
hasn't closed yet. It's the same video on both.
It is the same video. You can watch either one.
So, who in the audience has a badge that has a blue eyes? There's our blue one right there. All right. The blue one is a unique item. So if you're a TV
We got
fan.
$1!
There we go,
Okay.
35 days to go. So the blue eye badge, and I'll bring this to you, is actually going to get a piece of the original TV set with a certificate of authenticity. It's actually the very original set, which was before we carved it and built it. It was actually just canvas painted, so it's a piece of canvas. I'm gonna run out this and give this to one of our
It's
winners.
history, people.
It's
history.
history.
Okay, it's eBay still
So if someone came to you and said, you just won a piece of the original Muppet Show set, you'd want to take that home, probably. Or throw it up on eBay, yeah. The problem is that we're not that famous, so. Yes, we're working on it.
All right, let's see how fast this loads.
All right, I'm gonna reload this because I don't know. Oh, no sound?
Nope, there's sound.
No, try the other,
We actually have the technical skill to produce.
I want to point out that
But you
Tim is
have
a
a
writer.
Our tech guys aren't here, so.
Hey!
I got sound, hang on.
We have a garbage man doing our video for the show, and then we have a dentist who's actually puppeteering
Come on,
Trace.
go all the way back.
So.
Yay.
So is there noise?
All right, so what's really impressive about this shot is I've never actually ridden a motorcycle before. And then
Hey guys, you're on. Oh, jeez. Hi, I'm Gordon Spooner, and this is Tim Wick.
You might remember Gordon from the wildly successful puppet web series Transylvania Television, which looked just a little bit like this.
Tim here is the creative mind behind Fearless Comedy Productions, an outstanding on-the-edge comedy team responsible for such shows as Vilification Tennis and Big Fun Radio Fun Time.
And while I was outstanding on the edge, our worlds collided, and we came up with an idea for a brand new web series called Vermin. It's about a bunch of rats who work in a lab, kind of like a day job. Only something really sinister is going on behind the scenes, and our hero rat Ralph needs to figure out what's going on.
When we did Transylvania Television, we needed a boost of financial support to create our Halloween special. And thanks to Kickstarter and patrons like you, it was a big success. So now we're looking to do Vermin, and we're turning back to crowdfunding again. Unlike Transylvania Television, however, Vermin is going to be aimed at a general audience, not just mature audiences.
Plus, it's going to have actual humans in it.
And that is our coup, because we have an actual celebrity involved with the show, and here he is now, Mr. Trace Below from Mystery Science Theater. Where's the cheese?
What?
I was just getting into character. I'm a rat. Rats like cheese.
You're not actually playing a rat.
No?
No, actually, we've got you playing a crazy scientist. Cool, huh?
Wow, that's a stretch, guys.
Thanks.
That was kind of awkward.
Yeah. Oh God, I think he's headed for the door.
Oh my God, guys, get the celebrity! Get the celebrity! Don't get caught!
So as you can see, everyone is really excited and on board for this new comedy web show. But to do it, we need your support. So check out our incentives check out our stretch goals, and we got some really cool swag to send your way.
And please give generously because you have no idea how expensive it is to hide from the cops when you kidnap a celebrity.
I still want cheese. Did you just lift my wallet?
Holy crap!
I'll just leave that up. Let's just watch what's going on there.
Yeah, so let's to
I'm
refresh
just
it.
touching everyone.
Okay. You guys talk. I gotta contact everybody who donated last time, so I gotta let them know it's live. So say something funny. Something funny. Yeah. Awesome.
Entertain the crowd, go!
Entertain the boys. Actually, you know what? You know what? You guys go ahead and introduce yourselves and let people know why. Let people know why it is that I trust you to run these rats.
Okay, I'm gonna hold the mic over here, so if you guys wanna walk over and each take a turn. We wanna catch it on the video, so.
I see. Okay. Gordon trusts me to run a rat.
Thank you.
Yep.
Tell them what you've done in the past and tell them why you're in this gang.
Not your criminal record.
So I was a puppeteer on Transylvania Television. I was Hannibal von Bucket, who was the party demon.
Who is on display in the art show right
Is he?
now. Yes.
Oh, I should probably go take a look. Or is he? So I did that amongst other random characters on TV. I did that for a few years, and I also am the owner of the Ridiculous Puppet Company. Yay! So I've been a puppeteer for, and I do Felton, yeah, who's part of the PC. And yeah. And also, I've been a puppeteer for over 10 years, and I guess that's why Gordon trusts me, because I haven't broken any of his stuff yet. That's my guess.
That's the rule?
That's the rule. Too bad, Laz.
Lucky for Laz, trust doesn't come into it.
Yes, thank you, Gordon. Hi, I'm Laszlo. I was also part of Transylvania Television. I puppeteered Batfink. Thank you.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, random stranger. And I've known Gordon longer than I haven't known him. It was a long-ass time.
Yeah. We met at MiniCon. So
That's right.
That was a freaking while ago.
Yeah, when you introduced me to, you were doing the voice of, you were doing an Alf impersonation.
Yes.
Willie! And that's how we met.
Where's the cat?
I'd highly advocate not putting cats in a microwave. But we've worked together on this for how many years? Was it 6 years? 7 years?
TV.
Yeah.
It was like 7 years. We started in 2007.
Wow.
And we filmed the pilot like Easter weekend or something in 2007.
Yeah. So we have worked together, and I think Gordon trusts me loosely. I'm just transitioning from bat to rat, so that's kind of a nice segue. And he owes me a buttload of money, so this is sort of a thing. So thank you for that.
It's a lateral promotion.
Yeah.
And I will point out that we did give Laszlo the one that comes apart.
In case you haven't noticed. Pre-break and I break stuff already, so yeah. Are we gonna get rods for these?
You might get a bat rat.
You don't have a rod already?
No. Oh. That's it, mic drop.
This one's supposed to be family friendly, guys.
And so yeah, that's it. I'll pass the mic on to this gentleman right here.
Hi, I'm John Jennings. I haven't had a drink in about 3 hours. Oh, no? Okay. Hi, I'm John, I'm a puppeteer. I've been a puppeteer for about 10 years. 8 of those years have been with Disney. I worked out in California for a while for them. I performed Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy, and Bear from Bear in the Big Blue House. At Disney. At Disney.
What about someone we've heard of?
Okay. Crash and Bernstein on Disney XD, or for a while. And several other projects, web series, and commercials and things like that. So why Gordon trusts me, I don't know.
So John moved to Minnesota, we tied him up, put him in a closet, and are hanging on to him until we can get this thing off the ground.
And this is all news to me.
Because we have had several very good puppeteers that kind of came up here, and we tried to put them to work on TV, and then they all got, snooty and went off to New York and Canada, and, left us behind, us poor bum.
Nobody who's snooty goes off to Canada.
Maybe Montreal.
Montreal, yeah.
However, we do still have exceptionally good talent here, so.
Yes.
We just say just because of that.
show so bad.
And actually, more of those puppeteers are moving back. So it's going to be great to have, we are going to have a really big pool of very talented puppeteers here in the next 4 to 5 years, guaranteed. And I intend on making it viable for them to stay.
So what we're saying is if this Kickstarter succeeds, around about Series 5 we'll have a lot of really good puppeteers.
On top of the ones we already have.
I've not signed any contracts yet.
This is why I'm a writer and not a producer.
All right, so
a couple, just to mention them, you'd mentioned that we talked about these puppeteers. There are, I know Charles Hubble, if anybody knows Charles Hubble, is also
Everybody knows Charles
working
Hubble.
on, is also working on the series. I think that's a good thing to mention. Emily Cook is another one of our writers who isn't here. Just so you know, we did have a female voice in the writing room. And the character Roz is
We didn't listen to her, of course.
Even though we don't have a female puppet here.
Actually, there are 2 pretty darn good female puppeteers that we're going to try and get involved with this. Renee Warbowski, I am hoping that she will come to play Roz, and the gal who handles Connie,
Dawn Krasnowski,
will potentially. We have to see how it all goes up, but I would really love her to be Ralph's wife for the show, who plays a very, very important and big role in Series 2.
Yeah, the sort of a teaser. The Series 1, what originally Gordon wanted was he wanted this to be like Ralph. He has this job at the lab, and then he goes home, and then we see his family problems too. So there was that was the All in the Family thing. And what we decided was Series 1 takes place in the lab, and then Series 2 is going to start at Ralph's home, and we're going to meet his wife and all of his children.
All the many
Breeding life.
Yeah. But his wife has a job too, and I think that we're not going to talk about what her job is, but it becomes very important.
Very quickly.
Very quickly, and so it's a really big, interesting role, and I actually can't wait to get to Series 2. So it's like I hope this works this time because we have really good, big plans for Series 2 and for that character.
If we get to $100,000 on our Kickstarter, we will commit to Series 2.
So if anybody out there has just $100,000 lying around,
we will immediately commit to Series 2. If we get through Series 1 and people are still enjoying what we do, then we'll probably move on to Series 2 because it's totally worth it to keep the puppeteers alive.
And Series 3, I'm not even kidding you, is insane.
Yeah.
It is so nuts.
Yes, like I said, that left turn. By the time we hit Series 3, it's not even a left turn anymore. It's off the planet. It's just
like actually literally off the planet.
So,
spoilers.
Yes.
So let's just say you don't get $100,000.
Right.
Maybe you get. We're off to a great start, by the way, an awesome start. What the plans to? Would it be more Kickstarters, or would you try and shop and sell the show? What are the plans? You say season 1 fully successful, awesome Kickstarter because it's a great start. It should be. Then what?
If we have the encouragement of the people who want to see more of it, I would be tempted to simply move to a new Kickstarter and keep going for season 2. I really enjoy the creative freedom that gives everybody. With Transylvania Television, we created our own TV show. We actually have 5 broadcast episodes and 1 broadcast Halloween special. It's an hour long. And it was all us. We made the choices of what we were going to show, what we didn't show, what got cut, what got left in. That was all us. Nobody was telling us, the executives at ABC don't want you to do,
Which is great, but it hasn't generated us a single penny yet.
Yeah.
We currently do have TV out with the TV broker, and it looks like we are going to be working with the BBC, maybe, but at least with the British distribution firm that has connections to the BBC. It also might be on video on demand in Korea, which is sort of and the prison system.
Yes. Actually, our first contract that came through these people was a distribution agreement for the prison system. And it's like, you know what? It's adult material, and if prisoners want to laugh, okay, awesome. I hope we can contribute to their rehabilitation.
You said that with air quotes, right?
Question, you're talking about TV. If I wanted to see these episodes of TV, how would I do so?
There is a little bit of TV left on YouTube, and we've slowly taken some of that stuff down just because it's a maintenance nightmare. But if you want to see everything we've ever done, we've got 4 DVDs available, and you can order those from the Transylvania TV website, which is transylvania-tv.com.
We also will have a few of them at the signing table right after this panel. So Gordon will be at the signing table right after this panel. I don't know if any of the rest of the crew is going to follow along with this, but
You're welcome to hang out. Yeah. So Ralph is relaxing. He's just kind of kicking back. So,
wow, we're up over $2,000, guys.
I just sent out a message to all the people who donated the first time, and it was basically several words. It was like, "We're live now. Go, go, go!" So hopefully those people will get that and contribute again. The reason why I decided to do it again after our failure was because immediately after we didn't make our goal, I got about 24 private messages that just said, "Do it again. Just do it again. I'll donate again." I'm like, well, that's it. If we were going by the feedback rule of 1%, that means that everybody who donated wants us to do it again. And that kind of feedback is invaluable. If you, by the way, if you go, I'm going to try and keep new, fresh things coming out as the campaign goes on.
We'll actually figure out what the incentive is for Trace's lunch thing.
That's true. That's true. But I also I want to get with these guys. We haven't shot them yet, but we're going to get into a small studio or some kind of space and do some little interview pieces with the rats. So those will come out hopefully on a regular basis. We also have another little clippy film that Michael, who is going to be posting that, will put up probably tomorrow or the next day. Just a little. It's a little interview piece with Trace and me and I think Tim.
I don't know if I'm gonna, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I'm just a writer. Who cares what the writer looks like? Before we go, and it's almost, I'm just gonna say, not everybody can afford to donate to a Kickstarter, and that's really cool. But what is super free is telling people about it. That doesn't cost you anything. So do us a favor in the next 35 days. Do a post on your Facebook page, which most of you probably have.
There's a Vermin Facebook page. Share that.
Yeah. That doesn't cost you anything except a little bit of time. And the more people that talk about it, the better chance we have of making not only our main goal, but also our stretch goals. And there's some pretty cool incentives for stretch goals.
Hashtag Vermin Show.
Just so you know, the day we launched the Vermin the last time was the day Alan Tudyk launched his show, his Indiegogo campaign, which cleared over $1 million in like 3 days. So it was kind of like, hey. We want to be the show that Nathan Fillion almost did.
So this show, so what we're trying to say is this show is almost exactly like a show that Alan Tudyk would do.
Actually, have you considered killing one of the puppets in a dramatic fashion?
Pardon?
Have you considered killing one of the puppets in a dramatic fashion?
Absolutely. One of the most fun things that Gordon told us when we started writing this was, don't worry about how the puppets are going to do anything you write. We'll take care of that. So we did things like shoot puppets out of a cannon, play a bunch of explosions. It's not the writer's job to figure it out.
Just as long as one puppet doesn't have to hand something to another puppet.
So we're literally at our time, but we've got 2 questions, so we should probably take the 2 hands and then we got it. So this gentleman was first, I think.
Would you guys have time after panel or sometime before the end of con to do an interview? I do a little web video show and I thought
Abso-freaking-lutely. Yeah. Come up and talk to us, we'll figure out a time.
Absolutely.
And then you have it.
So you're on Facebook, and what's your Twitter hashtag?
Hashtag Vermin Show, if you don't already have one of our lovely badge ribbons, it does have the hashtag on it. Please come on up and get one. You don't have to put it on your badge. You can just put it in your pocket and go, what was that hashtag again? Oh, that's right. I've got a badge ribbon in my pocket with the hashtag right on it. Wow, that Tim Wick knows how to design a badge ribbon, doesn't he? That's the other thing you
Just
can
so
say.
you know, when we did the first one and then Alan Tudyk did his thing, I actually considered changing the name of our campaign to Nathan Fillion Does Not Present Vermin the Web Show, just to get the hits. The lawyers advised against it.
I think that, are we done?
If you will allow us, we will be done now.
Thank you.
If you have red or single eyes on the back of your button, come to the front of the room.